In this video, I'm going to show you how to replace the MAP sensor, Manifold Absolute Pressure sensor, on this Nissan Pathfinder. Unlike what you might think, this is actually located in the rear of the vehicle on the charcoal canister for the EVAP system. Let's get started. At the back of the vehicle, between the spare tire and the rear driver's side wheel, you'll find the vent valve, which is right on the charcoal canister, which is what we're after. Let's remove the vent valve first. I'm going to unplug the electrical connector. Sometimes this is stuck because of sand and debris buildup. Remove the hose that goes to it. There's no clamp on this one. And then right here, you have a plastic tab that if you push and twist counterclockwise, you should be able to unlock the vent valve. Pull outwards as you twist counterclockwise, and you'll find that there's a point where it wants to start sliding out. That's where these tabs will unlock or match up with the slots, and will remove the vent valve. So set this aside. We're going to reuse it, of course. Right above that, you'll see this line, which if you just squeeze with some pliers, it's going to have two little clips here that need to be squished in, and a lot of times these get stuck from all the sand that shoots up here from the wheels. Give it a couple twists to make sure it breaks free, and then as you press on those tabs, try to slide it outward. Sometimes it helps to have something to pry with so that you can squeeze and pry out at the same time. I'm going to spray a little bit of rust penetrant in here in hopes that it'll seep into the connection and actually release it. It's not usually just the line that gets stuck, it's also these clips. So if I can at least lubricate it a little bit. There we go. Now just pull this off of here, set it aside. Above this hose that we just removed, the line, you'll have a hose with a hose clamp and an electrical connector. I'm going to remove this hose first. The clamp is in extremely poor condition and it just disintegrated in my hand, so I'm going to have to replace that, of course. Regardless, this one has to come off somehow, whether I cut it off or bend it off, but something has to happen so that this hose or this line can come off. There we go. Now we should be able to remove this hose. Okay. That leaves us with one electrical connector back here. This one is probably going to be stuck from all the sand that's here. So I'll grab some pliers so I can very gently pull it off of here. Squeeze on the tab. I'm going to use my trim tool to help pry it off. There we go. That leaves us with one 13mm bolt to undo, which sits right on the other end of it. So get that off of there. Okay, this will allow us to pull the canister down and out, and there it is. One last thing we need to do before getting rid of this canister is to remove this sensor. Press on the two tabs and spread them apart while pulling this sensor up. This should allow it to come off of here. There we go. You would take this sensor, put it right back in. Make sure that clicks so that it seals up properly. When you put the canister up, you're going to want to line it up with this tab here. It has a groove cut out on the back side. Slide it in and up, and then the top hole is the one you want to put the bolt through. Right there. Once you get that bolt hand started, go ahead and snug it up. Make sure it's nice and tight, but don't over tighten it. Now let's plug this connector back in. Make sure it clicks. I'm going to put a new hose clamp on this hose, slide this on, make sure it's bottomed out all the way, and I'm just going to tighten this up. Make sure it's centered between the end of the fitting and the end of the hose. I'm just using a flathead screwdriver on this one, but you can also use a 1/4 inch socket if you want. Now with these worm clamps, you don't have to crush them down completely. As soon as it starts squeezing a little bit onto the hose, you're good. If you squeeze it too much, it'll actually strip out the gear in here and or the screw, and then you'll have to replace it again. So Now let's get this back on. Now let's get this back on. Slide it in till it clicks. There we go. If you try to pull out on it, it shouldn't want to pull out. It's stuck in here. And finally, the vent solenoid. Line up the tabs on that fitting there. Push it in, lock it down, connect the electrical connector and the hose. This hose, once again, did not have a clamp. Bottom that out, and there you have it.
When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.